Welcome, everybody. I am so excited to have you here. I am Crypto Sensei. I'm bringing to you Electron Exchange. We have Blair White, and we have the another founder of Electron Exchange. We have Hassan. Guys, welcome. I'm so eager to better understand what you guys are building there and the offer that you guys are trying to put out here into the crypto space and understand more about that. You guys want to go ahead and maybe introduce yourself first? We can go with Blair, and then we'll move to Hassan.
Yes, absolutely. My name is Blair White. I'm the co-founder of Electron Exchange. Um, I've been in the blockchain crypto community space for a couple of years now. This is my second bull run that just took off. I'm I guess some of the value that I'm able to bring to the project for Electron Exchange. I've been in the tech space for quite some time. I've had the opportunity to deal with quite a few different solar companies. I had the opportunity to work with Hassan in senior leadership at Verizon, wireless, and there we established a relationship, got to know each other and how each other worked, and have bounced ideas back and forth over the years. And I know Hassan had experience in the solar industry and came up with this amazing idea and brought me on board, and I'm definitely happy to be here so I could bring the project to you all.
I love that, Blair. Thank you so
So
much
I'll
for
go
that
ahead and hand
intro.
the mic over to you.
All right, Hassan, all you, my friend, go for it.
Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Hassan. I'm the founder of Electron. I created this idea about a year, maybe a little more than a year ago, and we kind of theory crafted it for a little bit. Once I brought Blair on, everything got accelerated super fast. But yeah, the idea behind Electron is very simple. Energy right now is not where we need it to be. We need more cleaner energy out there. So this project will basically enable people that are kind of on the fence about it to have another avenue of income after they go solar. So the idea is basically very simple: is when you have solar, if you have extra solar left over after you're done using it for the day, you get to sell it on an open market, peer to peer. There's going to be no third party to kind of interfere with that. Utility companies will be involved in it as well to be able to send the transmission back and forth. But really, it's just going to be peer to peer. So if Blair wants to buy my extra solar energy, she can do that, and me and Blair can agree on a price instead of somebody else doing that for us.
So I think what you guys are trying to tackle is really amazing, right? Because currently the system is if you have solar on your house and maybe you're on a vacation or your family's not using all of the solar, you have extra solar, you can either you have two options. Either you figure out a way to use that extra power or you sell it back to a PG&E or a big energy company for pennies on the dollar. Is that kind of accurate how the current system is?
Yeah. So how it works right now, you technically have three options. So one, you got to use it. Two, you can store it. So you could use the Tesla battery or one of the Chem batteries outside of that. So you can store it for later, or you sell it back to the grid. Now, the worst option of all three of them is basically the selling it back to the grid because you don't get the same value that you would get if you were to buy that same energy. So, for example, I'm in Southern California. So, Southern California average utility cost is around anywhere from 38 to 55 cents, depending on where you are, per kilowatt hour of electricity, right? Now, when you have solar, if you have extra solar and you're selling it back to the grid, they're going to give you anywhere from 2 cents to about 11 cents, depending on the time of the day and also depending on the season, right? So it's going to be a losing battle for the solar homeowner. So with Electron, what we're trying to accomplish is bridge that gap a little bit. So if Blair wants to sell her extra electricity for 45 cents, and I, as either an apartment owner or somebody that can have solar, if I want to buy it from Blair for 45 cents, I should be able to do that. And that's where Electron will come in and make that happen.
So walk me through this though, right? Like how do you envision this? I need power. I go onto this marketplace. I see somebody else, like let's say Blair has some extra power that what she wants to sell me. We agree upon a price. How do I get Blair's power? How does that all work?
Yeah, so essentially what's happening on the back end is Blair, with her extra power, once she connects it to Electron, Electron, what it's doing is digitizing or basically tokenizing her power. Once that power is tokenized, she can basically receive energy credits if there's any kind of incentive for that. And me on the other end, if I'm in an apartment, but I still want to be green, I can buy that electricity from her, the tokenized version of her electricity, and basically save the environment a little bit.
I love that. And so when you originally were researching this, you looked around, you didn't see anybody else attempting to do this. Is that why you took up the charge and are trying to pursue creating this, electron solar blockchain community project?
Yeah, so a little bit of my background. My background has been I was in a senior leadership with Verizon Wireless and Sunrun, and my thing was basically people were relying on me to solve problems. So the biggest thing to do that is to identify the problem and then to solve it, right? So when I was working with solar, a lot of the feedback that the customers that gave us that didn't go solar, or even the ones that did go solar and they weren't like super happy about it, their feedback was basically, well, the sellback rate is really bad, and that's one of the reasons I don't want to go, or that's one of the reasons I'm not going to tell my friends to go solar. So with that said, my idea was to bring another solution to have somebody else buy it from them for a little bit better cost than what they're getting from the utility companies. There's really no other way around that other than creating its own marketplace for that. The way to go around, the way we decided to go around it is to involve utility companies with us instead of fighting against them. So basically with the project Electron, utility companies are also going to be benefiting from being participating in this protocol. And the way that they're going to do that is through the NFTs and also through the validator nodes.
Got it. And so we'll jump into validator nodes in just a second here. I did want to ask about, the regulatory landscape trying to do something like this. I know there's a lot of pieces and companies and corporations in play here. So how are you navigating all of these pieces, and what has the conversation been like when you bring these to maybe like a PG&E in California or some other big conglomerate energy company? Are they bullish on what you're doing? Are they hesitant? What has the conversations been like on the regulatory side?
Yeah, so you're always going to meet some level of hesitancy, right? Because it's a brand new project coming up. But from the conversations that Blair and I have had with different venture capitalist firms, different variety of people that we've talked to that are in the energy sector, they've all been positive and all been welcoming and basically been more of like pointing us to the right direction and basically encouraging us to continue doing what we're doing. The biggest example that I can give on that one is so the government of the U.S. has a foundation. It's called National Science Foundation. So the National Science Foundation basically goes in and gives out grants and mentorship to new businesses and startups through a process called SBIR, so Small Business and Innovation Research. So with that particular sector of the government, the failure rate for them to accept or reject people that are going into that is around 90 to 95%. So that means out of 100 people that apply for their program, only about 5 to 10 at the high end will make it. We're made it. We're in that program, and that's where we've gotten most of our funding from, and that's how we're currently operational. So to kind of go back to that one, once we have so right now we're doing what's called an outreach program. So we reach out to some of these people that are in like those high positions where they can make those decisions. And again, those conversations have been positive and encouraging. But once we have the product developed, we'll go back to them and talk to them again and bring them on board.
Got it. And talk to us a little bit about, so you guys are developing, you're building, you're getting some grants, you're getting a lot of movement on grants to help you build all of this stuff. And I know Blair is kind of the white knight as far as getting some of these grants. She knows exactly what she's doing, and she's been very successful. Talk to us about what you guys are currently offering, my community in the public, to try to bring them in as early entrepreneurs inside of this new ecosystem that you're building out.
Yeah, absolutely. So the reason we want to bring people in is quite a few different ones, but the main one I'll touch upon is one, we want to make sure that the project stays in democracy state. So we want to make sure that the validator nodes and then the NFTs are kind of separated out. Because the NFTs are going to play a huge role in governance later on once the project is fully developed. we don't want a company to come up and just snatch up all of them. So we want to make sure that we spread it out to at least a few individuals out there as well, so they have voting as well. But what the idea is to accomplish is the NFTs are going to be paired with a validator node eventually. And what's going to happen is validator nodes are going to help us process all the transactions. Any fees, all the fees that we collect are going to be distributed between the node holders and the foundation itself. Initially, we're looking at a split of 80-20. So 80% of all the fees that are going to be collected are going to go to the validator node holders. Only 20% are going to go to the foundation because we have a pretty long runway right now with all the grants that we're going to be getting. So we don't need the extra. I mean, we could use the extra money, but we don't need it. We'd rather help our investors reach financial freedom as well. So our goal is to offer the NFTs at a discounted rate to anybody who really wants to join our program. So they're normally going to be selling at $2,500 base price. For the initial offering, we're offering them at $1,000. And the benefit of the NFTs are going to be, again, if you go back to the transaction breakdown, they should be generating anywhere from $10,000 to $12,000 a year for the first year, maybe first 2 years, and then it's going to ramp up as we bring more people into the solar environment.
Got it. And currently, where would you guys say you are as far as getting the blockchain and all of the technology built out to make this work? I mean, have you guys gotten to the point where you've been able to test this in a real live environment? You know this works. You just need to build out the rest of this, or what stage are we at?
So we're still in the development stage. We are basically hiring everybody as a 1099 as an independent contractor to do that. And part of that has to do with like the type of funding that we're getting from the grants. Once we have all of the fundings done, then we can actually bring all those employees as W-2 employees and create the foundation itself. But right now it's being developed independently. And the reason for that is because we want to make sure that the people that are working hard to develop this for us are getting paid on time. If you bring them on, there might be like other issues that we run into. And we want to just prevent that from that kind of stuff happening. But any money that we get is accelerating our project. So initially, when we first talked, I think I mentioned like a 18 to 24 month a type of leadway for that. We're down to probably 6 to 7 months now. And again, as we get more funding, we're going to be reducing that even further. So
that's strong. And where are you finding most of these hires? Is this inside of the U.S. or is this outside? Where do you go to find people that are interested in working on something like this with you?
So that's an interesting question. It's a little bit complicated for us to answer right now because the U.S. government wants to create the jobs inside the U.S. Sure. So a lot of the funding is restricted to where we can use that for. A lot of the talent that I'm not sure if you're familiar, but somehow Brazil has a huge landscape for blockchain, but unfortunately we cannot work with any of those people because they're just outside of our spectrum of what we can spend the money on. So right now, most of our contractors are within the United States.
Got it. And Blair, let's talk a little bit about grants. How is it applying for these grants? I know there's a high number of these, companies that get denied, and I know that there's some grants that you guys have actually been approved on and moved to the next stages. Can you talk to us about what it's like to being, applying for grants? Some information to share about the process that you've been going through the last few months.
Absolutely, and I guess one other thing I wanted to state before we get into the grants is we're not looking to go against the power companies, electric companies. We're not looking to go against the solar companies. We're not looking to go against anyone here. We're looking to be strategic partners. That's where Electron Exchange is placed, essentially. We're trying to, like we mentioned before, pretty much solve the pain points that's creating the struggle or friction within the industry. Solar's been around for a really long time. And then if you look at the initiatives that the U.S. has laid out, it's going to be around for a really long time because was it by the year 2035, there's some key initiatives that are set in place. And the only way we're going to get there is if we work together. And so I believe that that's why there hasn't been really a lot of pushback they're more so looking to understand the strategic partnership and how that's going to look moving forward. Previously, I know there was the boom with the solar companies before, and it created a pain point because there became a lack of trust with the homeowners in what they foresaw themselves receiving from participating in the ecosystem and what actually happened. And so that's kind of a cellmate of the solar companies. And then you have the same, it's like kind of the same on all fronts. I think blockchain is going to be able to create that transparency that's needed so that everyone's willing to work and play together, and we can see what's truly going on and have that bird's eye view that's going to be needed to move forward. And as far as applying for the grants is concerned, we've definitely been looking for strategic grants, different areas that we're going to be able to make that impact. And I believe that's why we've been able to hop over that percentage of individuals that have actually been rejected, because it's like a 90% rejection rate, as Hassan mentioned before, when it comes to applying to a lot of these grants. And Electron Exchange has been fortunate enough to be moved forward through the stages. We've seen some positive feedback and some nice letters come in. Can't reveal all the details on that right now, but we're really excited in what this is going to allow us to bring forward.
I love that. And then, when people talk about these type of things with solar hooking up their accounts, there comes questions about security. So what scalability and security measures has Electron implemented to ensure that the platform can handle the increasing demand for energy trading? And also, when someone connects their account to Electron Exchange to do these exchanges, how are they protected?
One of the main things is we're looking to build our own blockchain to make sure that we're keeping those transactions secure, because we are aware of how detrimental that can be. And so to increase the security for all parties, for the electric companies, the solar companies, and the end users, building our own blockchain has been key.
Got it. How does Electron Exchange decentralized platform foster innovation and competition in the energy market compared to traditional centralized systems? So, how are you guys going to, make this incredibly new market that everyone is going to want to come participate on, instead of using the current centralized market that we have?
The end users are able to benefit from Electron Exchange. So, there is that gap right now. You have, the key players are benefiting from it, and a lot of the solar home owners, they're feeling shysted from the situation, and so they're going to want to participate because it's going to provide them with all the things they thought they were getting before. And I believe that having the transparency and being able to see it on the app, how they're able to make money, and that the power's in their hands, is going to incentivize them to participate in the ecosystem and want to get on board. And I also believe that's going to create some traction with the solar companies as well, because you're going to have users, reaching out to them, looking to be able to participate in the ecosystem. And that's why I said Electron Exchange, we're trying to be that strategic partner for all parties, so we can, create that cohesiveness and reach the initiatives that, the United States has set forth for 2035. Solar has been around for a long time, and we're just enabling users to monetize their energy, essentially.
I love that. And then, part of this, shift is going to be education and marketing to these people that currently have solar, that might want to sell it and join this new Web3 marketplace. What is the ideas, goals, directions that you guys are going to be implementing to educate the people around, to actually bring them on to use the platform?
Yeah, so right now the process is very simple, right? And that's one of the reasons that people don't want to get out of that one. Even for like a Tesla battery, for example, Tesla battery has a built-in application where it allows you to sell your excess electricity at a higher rate. But a lot of people don't utilize that because it's slightly complicated to use. It's a couple extra steps, right? So the goal of Electron is to make the app as easy as possible, as easy as used possible. So basically, all you do is sign in and connect all your applications together, and the application will do everything for you. So when we're talking about like the older clients, like the 50 and above, if they're technology challenged, Electron should be able to handle that from basically step A to step B without having to do anything additional outside of that. So the goal is to make it very, very seamless and very easy to use. So when you log in, if you have extra electricity, it sells it for you and deposits the money back into your bank. So that's the goal.
Let me ask you this. I was just, as you were talking, I was thinking about a few things. And one of the things that my wife has an electric car, and we used to have solar in our previous home. And so she would charge her car at home, and then we would go out, and then she'd get stuck, somewhere needing to charge her car. Is it going to be possible where you can, maybe you have this built up electricity at home that you want to sell, but let's say you're out and you're like, hey, I need some actually powering, for my electric car or whatever it is. Can you then maybe use the power that you have on the marketplace already to, someplace else? I'm just kind of thinking outside the box as far as, what could be done here is, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. The idea is there. And that's, a lot of the things are going to be those moving points, right?
Yeah.
But once we get those strategic partnerships in there, so Tesla has a solar company, right? They do solar roofs out there, and they also have charging stations. So why wouldn't that be an option for us in the future? It's definitely going to be there. It's just going to take time with everything else. So to get those partnerships created and get everybody on board, which is going to be the toughest one. So.
Got it. And what are some other long-term goals for Electron Exchange that you envision in the platform? How do you envision the platform evolving to meet the needs of the future renewable energy market?
So the big thing is going to be because of different regulations, different type of interfaces, and different grid setups in the world, Electron itself is going to have to create new blockchain for each one of those different states or different countries out there. So once we finish with the US one, we're going to be able to take that project over to somebody else and have them create a solution for that country as well. So that's going to be the big thing for the long term, for the super long term. In the near short term, we are going to be looking at partnering up with either existing solar farms or creating our new ones or for ourselves for the US. So we have more electricity options outside of the coal and natural gas and stuff like that for it.
All right. And can we talk about the significance of Electron's algorithmic stablecoin NRG and how it will help mitigate market volatility and uncertainty, how it will be used?
Yeah, so the idea behind that again is to keep everything simple. So the NRG token or whatever stable coin that we end up using is going to be paired 1-to-1 with a US dollar in our particular one. So again, the reason behind that is for a brand new customer that's coming in that doesn't know anything about blockchain, should be able to understand that, hey, I'm paying 20 cents for this transaction, and then I'm paying 45 cents for the electricity that I'm buying from Blair. So that's the idea behind that, is to keep it very, very simple. The actual kilowatt hour token is not going to have any value beyond the trade itself on it. So once the trade is complete, the token itself is going to get burned. So we're not going to have an influx of tokens on the chain. So for example, let's say if Blair wants to sell her extra electricity to me, she's going to upload it to Electron, and that's going to cost her a 20-cent fee for tokenizing her extra electricity, right? Now, I want to go in and buy it from her. I can go ahead and do that, and I'm going to pay an additional 20 cents to buy that from her as well. So that's a total of 40 cents. Now, all of that is going to get broken down and distributed again. But it's going to be very seamless and very easy to understand, because I paid 20 cents to buy it. She paid 20 cents to create that electricity. So that's the reason why we want to create everything in just with those two tokens. And on the buy end of it, as soon as I get done buying the electricity, the token is burnt.
Got it. And let's talk a little bit about how the app is going to be used, right? Because we know that a lot of these homeowners that have solar might be a little bit older, and maybe Web3 technology is going to be way over their heads. So how are we going to be able to bring regular Web2 or Web1 people into this Web3 ecosystem that they're going to be able to use this technology to better their lives?
So the only people that will need to know what Web3 or Web2 is in that scenario are going to be the people that are actually like node owners or the NFT owners. Outside of that, the homeowner that has solar on his roof doesn't need to know that.
Okay.
So he's just going to log in and sell his energy to basically like a Google marketplace or an Apple marketplace. Is no different to them.
Got it. Okay. And just to tackle, the nodes one more time. So, if people aren't familiar with the concept of nodes basically are run from distributed ledgers, distributed computers all over the world. They help support blockchain. Maybe they keep, directories of transactions. Maybe they help process transactions. They can do, a bunch of different things. And how I have personally been able to make money in the crypto space is by finding special projects early that do have node opportunities, buying nodes, running those nodes, making rewards, and then selling those rewards back into the market to, pay bills or reinvest in the market or do whatever. And so the opportunity that Electron Exchange has right now is they're offering nodes to support their blockchain for currently, is it $1,000, but it will be 2,500 eventually. Can you walk us through some of those details again?
Yeah, so on paper, they're always worth $2,500. So when we're talking to VCs and we're talking to National Science Foundation through the U.S. government, they're always going to be marketed at $2,500. The reason we want to give them an early benefit is because there is going to be a little bit of a gap before you start making income off of it, right? So we want to reward that for the early adoption and the early participation on it. So right now they're $1,000 for people that want to participate in it right now. Once the protocol is live, we are going to be selling more nodes or using them for strategic partnership. They're going to be valued at $2,500. So in the marketplace, you'll be able to sell that. So if for some reason you don't see the value in it in 6 months or 7 months or whatnot, you'll be able to sell that node at $2,500 to somebody else that does see the value. What I would recommend is, the way I look at it is, once the chain is running, this is going to generate so much money that the $1,000 that you're spending is going to be paid back to you within a month or two. Especially if once we get everybody on board in like the year 1 or year 2, it's going to be producing 10 to 12x your value every year. So there'll be no reason for you to sell it once you have it. And also the governance is going to play a huge part as well. So they're going to get more and more value as time goes on. So.
And how many nodes? Blair, go for it. I'll come back to your question.
One of the key takeaways between the last couple of questions, between our token and the nodes, one of the key takeaways that I want everyone to walk away with is, what you're trying to get your hands on is the actual NFT, which is going to be paired with the node. It's not the coin itself. The coin itself is going to be used merely for the transactions. You want the NFT node if you're looking to participate in the ecosystem on the passive income side of Electron Exchange.
Thank you for clearing that up. And I did post where you can currently go, the marketplace. I will post it again real quick. This is the marketplace that you can go to participate if you do see value. What I would recommend is doing obviously some more research, getting to the point where you feel comfortable with the project and the team. And if you did want to take it to the next level, that's the link that you would use to participate. And so if people do decide to participate, what are they going to use to buy this 1,000? Is it on AVAX? Is it on Matic? What currencies are they using to participate? Oh, you're muted.
Sorry. Yeah, currently it's on AVAX, just for the ease of use of it. But eventually they will be migrated to our own blockchain. And whatever wallet that your NFT is connected to, that's where we're going to be dropping all the fees and any money that you clear from that one. And that's going to be paid out pretty much every time the block is completed. So every 24 to 48 hours, you're going to get money handed to you from whatever transactions that you processed on it.
So yeah, I know that most nodes they're always different and kind of when you can claim rewards. It sounds like this one will be daily or bi-daily. Is that what you were saying?
So we haven't finalized how long a
Okay.
block is going to be for that one, but it's going to be within the 24 to 48 hours. We don't want to do it shorter because it doesn't really make any sense. We want to make sure that that we don't overload our blockchain. So we want to do it 24 to 48 hours is going to be where it's going to be at.
And when you speak with VCs or when you speak with investors or when you're applying for grants, what has the conversation been like, is for what you guys are trying to build? Has it been, oh, wow, that's really cool, amazement? Has it been has there been some pushback? I'd love to better understand the conversations that you've been having with these parties.
Honestly, I can't recall a bad conversation with that one. Every conversation has been super encouraging, and most of the people that we've talked to, especially in the VC side of it, they've been blown away with the idea and the theory behind it, and how far we've come across without really getting millions of dollars thrown at us. So that's where we are right now, is because nobody else has tried this. Nobody else wants to do this. We're the only ones that are actually in the industry, actually leading it. And when we talk to people, most of them are usually generally blown away, and the feedback has been amazing. And that's what's keep us going. Is that everybody's been super encouraging about what we're trying to accomplish. And either if they're not giving us money right away, they're giving us pointers to go the right direction.
That's really good.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Blair, I think we're at 11 right now, at 11 different partnerships.
Yeah, 11.
Okay. Yeah, so these partnerships are some of them are really small, like Microsoft Startups, for example, was our first one. They gave us a $40,000 credit for different things, mainly Azure. However, we have other partnerships that are giving us more guidance, that are more valuable. So it just really depends on which way you look at it. But right now, about 6 months ago, our runway was maybe 30 days or so. But right now, our runway is close to 18 months right now.
All right, there was a question from the audience. Says the website says that the price is 70 AVAX. That's about $1,793 right now. Is that supposed to be correct, or is it not updated?
So right now it's not updated, and the reason for that is because AVAX prices does fluctuate, and we don't have a dedicated team to kind of go in and fix that.
Okay.
However, the people that are interested in buying it for the 1,000. There is a form that you guys have. I'll see if I can find it and post it. If not, we'll post it in the chat here in a second. But that form is going to allow you to buy it at $1,000.
Got it. Okay. And then what I can do to, if we can't locate it in this current moment, what I'll do is I'll go back and I will reattach the form to the description of the video. So that way you do have it. Yeah, it looks like we have the marketplace, the website, the Discord, and then the would it be in the Discord anywhere?
Yeah, we'll post it on our Discord as well. Yes.
Got it. All right, cool. Is there any other things that we haven't covered? I know we talked like the last 30-something minutes about the project. Or has there been any aspect of the project that we haven't covered that you feel is really important that we still need to talk about? Please let me know.
I will leave that one up to Blair.
Okay. Blair, what you got?
I wouldn't say that there isn't any aspects that we haven't covered. I would say one of the biggest things is what's going to really allow us to disrupt this industry is not necessarily disrupting this industry necessarily. We're disrupting the current friction that's happening within the industry. And so that's why we haven't got really pushback when we're dealing with different grants or we're dealing with the investors, because they're able to see, I guess within any industry, what creates movement is being able to solve pain points, and the pain points are clearly there. And like I said, for us to be able to reach those goals, to reach those initiatives, we have to work together. We're not going against the industry. So you mentioned before, like we're doing something that someone else hasn't done before. And usually that's going up against the giants. We're not going up against the giants. We're running with everyone and being able to bring, people that have had are disgruntled along with us to be able to solve the pain points for everybody. And our NFTs are truly just a way for us to allow others like ourselves to be able to participate in the ecosystem and take part of that as well. So like we mentioned, a couple times here, you're able to participate on both sides of Electron Exchange, whether it's being able to take part in the passive income that's on its way, that's coming, or whether it's being able to, the passive income on either side, whether it's through the NFT or through your app and being able to monetize that energy. Solar's not going anywhere. And, we're here to stay, and we look forward to you all joining us along the journey.
Love that, Blair. Hassan, you had any final words?
Actually, one thing that I did want to mention is something that I've been super proud of bringing Blair on, and she's been very crucial to our project, obviously. But one thing I wanted to mention is the VCs that we talked to, we've actually turned down one particular offer just because the evaluation wasn't on par with the rest of them. The current evaluation for Electron is $62.5 million. The other VC was trying to get us partnership at a 5% stake, but they were only offering us around 25, and we had to turn that one down because we have other offers that are at our valuation that we bring in, which is at 62.5 million. So just wanted to bring that as a final note.
I love that. Well, I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you for the 90 or so odd people that are currently watching. If you need more information, please, I highly advise you to go inside of the Electron Exchange Discord, start talking with their team on Twitter, and in fact, visit the marketplace. You do want to get the special link. So if you want to participate and buy one of the NFTs that acts as a node, you definitely want to go into the, is it better to just go into your Discord and open up a ticket, or how are they going to get the special offer?
They will post a form. Basically, once you fill it out, it will get sent to myself and Blair, and we'll just process it on the back end. Either one of our staffs will reach out to them, or if we have time, we'll reach out myself, and we're handling everything basically per transaction.
And when will people actually get their physical NFT in their wallet?
As soon as we receive the Google form completed and the funds are there, we're going to be able to airdrop those right away.
Great. So it's already created. It's ready to go. As soon as you pay, they'll get sent over.
Yep, absolutely. And somebody asked if there's a max NFTs. Currently, there really isn't. Once we have the protocol fully engaged, there will be a max for a corporation or an entity to have it, which is 3,500. But right now, for individuals, there is no max.
Do we have any other questions or any other comments from you guys, the team? Nope. Beautiful. I love it when we got it all covered. Well, hey guys, we really appreciate you sharing your dreams, your goals, and what you're trying to build here in the Web3 space. We wish you all the luck and success in the world. And guys, if you have any questions, or you feel free to reach out to me, I'd be happy to point you in the right direction. This has been another great AMA brought to you by Cryptonaires and Crypto Sensei. Aloha, guys. Thank you for watching.
Thank you guys. Have a good day.
Bye, Blair. Bye, Hassan.